Hey guys, Alan Jimenez here, real estate broker here at HPAgents.com. Today we're going to be talking about commercial real estate. What is commercial real estate? How do you get into it? Some basic terminology. A little bit about me. I've been doing this for 15 years, over 156 plus transactions. I've helped buyers and sellers, investors, wholesalers, builders, did new construction, lots of flips. So it gives you a little history about who you're working with and the advice that you're receiving, because I see so much advice being given out there on the internet that from someone that isn't licensed, never did a flip in their lives, possibly an actor, and it's just ridiculous. So always question the person you're receiving this information or any kind of lesson from, because this is going to carry on into your business life. So let's get started. Commercial real estate. What is commercial real estate? Commercial real estate is basically anything that is not 1 to 4 family in the state of Texas. 1 to 4 family is a regular house, an apartment, a condo, a townhome, or anything that has like a multiple homes in 1 up to 4 units. So let's say, for instance, a duplex,
or a triplex, or a quadplex. So triplex is just 3 units in 1, or quadplex is 4 units in 1. We have lots of those available in Texas, I'm sure other states as well. But anything outside of that, 5 units and above, is considered commercial real estate. Now that's if a living dwelling, they can live there. Now if it's just 2 units, but they're both commercial, like a shopping strip, a strip center that it only has 2 occupancy, but they don't live there, it's strictly commercial, it's regulated and licensed as commercial to do business, then yes, that is commercial. So those 2 things to refer, that is what commercial real estate, and there's a whole bunch of different variety of commercial real estate, from income producing properties, from land. There's commercial land that can be bought for long-term investments. There's also business that can go along with, like a Shell gas station or any kind of gas station, furniture stores. All this is considered commercial real estate when the real estate goes with it. Now, I have seen sometimes where the commercial real estate postings do not include the real estate. I think you just need to be full disclosure when you do that. Okay, so let's get going here. What are some of the legal restrictions? It depends. And like in Texas, you don't need a commercial real estate license. You just need a real estate license to practice both commercial and residential real estate. Your state may differentiate, so check with your Texas real estate, your real estate commission to verify that. Now, some of the basic terminology in commercial real estate you're going to see is cap rate. Cap rate, basically, we're going to do this really quickly. It's just basically a ratio between what you bought the property for and how much it earns annually. If you bought it for $1 million and it makes $100,000 in income, then you got a 10% cap. And that's what a lot of investors will go by. They'll instantly ask you what's the cap rate, because that kind of like gains them interest. Then they're going to take a further look if they're interested. So you tell somebody you have a 10 or 12% cap rate on a Class A, B, or B type of structure, then yeah, they're going to be very interested. They'll say, okay, send me the docs, let's do a review, let's do analysis. Another is ROI, return on investment, which is super to understand. Let's say, for instance, you bought something for, let's make it just simple. You bought it for $100, okay? You bought it for $100. You sold it for $120. So you got a 20% rate of return, ROI. A return on investment. I jumped the gun there. Return on investment. You got a 20% ROI, return on investment. So you got $100, you made 120. Now let's make that a bigger figure, say 500,000, and then you sold it for 600,000. So you got a 20%. That's what they're looking for. So the next thing we're going to talk to, not to be confused with rate of return, not to be confused with the rate of return. That basically is saying, okay, I have about $100,000 in this investment of my cold cash in this investment, and the rate of return, I'm getting $20,000 back each period. And I should have all my money back in 5 years, which gives me a 20% rate of return. You see, it takes how long does it take to get my money back, my cold cash? Because that cash has opportunity to it. You could do stuff with that money. It's a good
You have to know that rate of return, and the return on investment is good for the long stretch when you decide to sell it. So now I'm going to go to cash flow before taxes, CFBT and CFAT, which is super easy to understand. How much cash flow is it generating before Uncle Sam takes his taxes and after taxes? Now, after taxes can be calculated, but you have to use whatever tax structure or tax bracket your client is using. And sometimes they'll tell you, well, sometimes you have to ask and they'll tell you, then you can put it into our software. It'll automatically calculate it and put it into a pretty graph. We'll talk about that later on. Cash flow before taxes, that's for usually guys that are very savvy, and most commercial people are. They're mostly concerned with CFBT because they always write these taxes off on all types of things. They have accountants that look for every single which way to save money and keep money in their pocket. Then we're going to move on to TripleNet. I'm sorry I'm moving so fast. This is a crash course, 10-minute for IGTV and YouTube, and I hope you guys subscribe. So TripleNet is super easy to understand. This thing hits clients in the butt all the time. When new realtors get into commercial real estate or do their first commercial lease, they think it's the same, and they the seller power drives them because they don't understand what these terms mean. TripleNet means that the client is responsible for taxes and insurance and the common area maintenance, and these things are negotiable. And this is where, so you're thinking base rent, $2,000. Well, he's putting in that fine print, TripleNet. What I like to do is I like to take a look at it. I like to spell everything out in the 1 to 5 years, restructure, and maybe in a step up program or even a step down program, depending on my client. We have to negotiate for our clients and possibly ourselves if we're looking for office space or doing our own commercial transaction. But you have to take a look at these numbers, spell it out black and white. What am I going to be paying? Have it out in plain black and white. It does not differentiate. This is what I'm responsible. And TripleNet is one of those terms that are always seem to be squeezed in, and a lot of people get kicked in the butt. Square feet calculation, they like to do this weird. I don't know why, but they like to do it on an annual basis. So square feet, you may say $12 a square foot, but really that's only $1 a square foot. So you have 2,000 square feet. That's so it's $2,000 a month. You see, so you have to divide that. Usually, the square foot calculation is divided by 12. So if it's $12 square foot per square foot, then you have to divide that by 12. You get 1. Multiply that times the amount of square foot you're taking. Then you, of course, calculate your TripleNets. And the annual summarizations is when you're evaluating commercial real estate for your client, they're going to want to see it on an annual basis. They're mostly concerned on annual basis because that's where we see our big amount of profits or losses if you do this correctly or incorrectly. And future value analysis basically takes your annual summarizations, calculates it in with the increased value that it will get per year. Usually in the Houston area, 3 to 4% is kind of gradual. The accumulation, you have to accumulate it. So $1 million be 1,030,000, and that accumulates with the 1,060,000 plus the amount that it generated. This is all done in the software that we have in-house. Check us out at HPAgents.com. And I know I'm going fast, but I'm trying to get you guys to learn as much as possible in this free. Cap rate, we talked about that. Vacancy rate is pretty easy. Software out there when you become a member of CoStar or LoopNet. This can be calculated when you run your reports. On each area is different because every has vacancy rates depending on each area. And so you need to define that vacancy rate because you'll need to plug that into the software. Now, lending strategies is super overlooked and super simple. Basically, you need to do there's a little worksheet that we have here in the house. You have to go through the client and then go get these questions answered because you don't want to be doing a lot of work for someone that's not pre-approved. So they're trying to do 5% down or 10% down on a gas station. It's not going to happen. Maybe we need to start looking for them an owner finance deal. So not every deal that comes to you is going to be acceptable.
And guys, make sure to follow me. Hit that notification bell so you can get free training, free tips every single week, sometimes daily. Subscribe, follow me.